Hello, my friends. How are you? I'm Sheena Metal, the Reverend Sheena Metal, and this is Saturday Night Spiritual. This is normally the time in our service where our wonderful senior pastor, Keith Mazingo, would come and say welcome and explain a little bit about Saturday Night Spiritual to you. I am not happy to announce that so many folks at our church, at Founders MCC, have been afflicted by COVID. And the different variants, that I'm the only one here tonight because we don't have enough crew to do an actual broadcast from the church. So, of course, I didn't want to miss this because I love you all and you mean so much to me. And I think that there are messages that you need to hear irregardless of whether or not everyone's getting sick, especially because everyone's getting sick. So I am here to do a little Saturday Night Spiritual for you. So welcome to Founders Metropolitan Community Church. And this is our interfaith service, Saturday Night Spiritual. And I am the Reverend Sheena Metal, and I am honored and thrilled to get the chance to do this with you every single month. I don't know how much longer I'll be doing it like this, but I love you all and I'm happy to do it like this. Normally, I would be, while Keith was speaking, I would be passing our link around everywhere. Obviously, that wouldn't make for very good service for you to watch, so I'll be doing that later to make sure that we reach as many people as we can and bring hope and love and joy to everyone. So this is the good news. This can be very interactive tonight. It can be a little different. You can ask me questions and I can answer them. During our blessing time, I will be happy to bless you if you want. Welcome, Macy. Macy is at home with COVID right now. We're sending you love and we're so glad you're here. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. So welcome. Welcome to everybody who's watching tonight. FoundersMCC.org. at SaturdayNightSpiritual.com, here at the Founders MCC page on Facebook and on YouTube. Our cyber audience, who knew? I remember in 2019 when I started this service in June, Pastor Keith and I were discovering ways to grow our cyber audience. We didn't think a global pandemic was one of them, but it certainly has grown our cyber audience, and it certainly is wonderful to be here with you all. You are still at Founders MCC as long as you are here on this page. My background, I know, is not as beautiful as what we see in the cathedral, but I'm going to do my best tonight. I'm the Reverend Sheena Metal. I am pastored at Founders as the interfaith pastor. I am a pastor who lives in service, honors spirit, and believes that my true religion is love. So, am I Christian? Yes. Am I a Buddhist? Yes. Am I pagan? Yes. Am I a New Age practitioner and a metaphysician? Yes. I believe in saying yes to many faiths that resonate with me. That includes all of those: Judaism, Hinduism, Taoism, more things than I can even name to you. If I love it, and I love something about it, and it feels good and it resonates with me, then I adopt it into my spiritual palate. I put it on my spiritual salad bar plate. And I encourage you all to do the same and to remember that when you do that, when you add something else you love to your spiritual palate, it doesn't at all make you any less of a Christian or any less of whatever you claim you are. I was fortunate to grow up with a mom who was very much a New Age metaphysician, but also considered herself what she liked to call a Teachings of Christ Christian. And for her, that meant she didn't go to any one church or belong to any particular sect of Christianity, but she believed in the word of Christ. And I love that she would put crystals and dragons and fairies all over the house, but she had a nativity scene that had like 50 pieces. And at Christmas time, it was all over the hutches in the dining room where the dishes and the silverware, it was too much for one. And then at one point we got an upright piano, and then it was on the top of the piano because she just kept buying shepherds and sheep and goats and baby lambs and angels. I think that if I had a wish for you, it would be to, if you identify as a Christian, which you probably do here at MCC, for you to love your Christianity, but also know it's okay if you see something you like. Let's say you want to maybe do a chant, or you want to take up meditation, or you want to try holding some crystals when you have anxiety. Do those things. It's okay. It's okay to be everything you are, and because I really believe that was what Jesus wanted for us. I consider Jesus to be a very groovy, fantastic metaphysician. And I really believe that he wanted for us to create our spiritual palette and to use him as the basis for that, to jumpstart us, to get us started. I also encourage folks in my interfaith ideologies and cosmologies to embrace the customs you love from the whatever spirituality or religion you grew up in, because they're a part of you. Now, they may not be where you want to be now. Their teachings or their congregations or their pastors may not be telling you things that resonate with you, but they're still a part of your history. It's kind of a don't throw the baby out with the bathwater philosophy, right? I mean, just because you don't believe in one thing or another thing, or maybe the oppression you felt in a church or the repression you felt in a church, great, please get away from that. But the things that you loved about it, the things that you enjoyed, hang on to those things. And I think you will see that all of us pastors at Founders here, that's pretty much our story, that we moved past the things that no longer served us, and we embraced the things that do. And that's a little bit what we're going to be talking about today during my sermon. I am someone that I am so thankful that this church and this denomination has trusted me to bring all faiths together under one roof, or today in front of my iPhone, because I believe that all paths paved in good lead us to the light. So welcome everybody who's here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. We are here every second Saturday of the month to combine our hearts and our passions and our souls and our service. But why we're really here is to love each other. I believe that love is everything, that all you need is love. I am the founder of a nonprofit movement of peace and love and kindness and unity. I have a radio show that's an outreach of that. Both are called, one's raisingthevibration.org. The radio show is just Raising the Vibration. I made different words for the radio show, but I repeated love because love is the most important thing. And the basis of this radio show is a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. It's aspire, evolve, ascend, and evolve, inspire, and love. So what are you doing to raise your vibration? How are you becoming a healthier, happier, more balanced, more connected to yourself, to spirit, to the world, to your loved ones? How are you becoming that person? And then how is that playing into your overall spiritual evolvement? And then how are you taking those two things, your ascension and your evolvement, and using them to inspire others to do the same, to walk the same path you have, or walk their path, whatever their path is, to walk a path as you have, and then love, to bring more love into the world, because all you need is love. So today, from my girlfriend's office, Saturday Night Spiritual, special edition. Welcome Arthur, welcome Frank. We're being a little more interactive because I can actually see your names, which I can't when we're at church. So here's something, as you all know, Founders is a beautiful church, and when we are all together gathered post-COVID again, we'll be doing what they like to call the passing of the peace. Because I run a peace movement, I'm all about peace. I like to call it the passing of the peace, love, kindness, and unity. It's one of my favorite parts about our church, about this service, about any church I attend as a guest, where you get to get up, hug your neighbor, shake your neighbor's hand, get to know people, grow your tribe, which is so important. So here virtually, we do it. This is how we're going to pass the peace, love, kindness, and unity virtually. This last almost 2 years, this time of COVID, as we call it, may be a time of physical restriction. It may be a time where you're not at as many parties. You're not at as many live events. You're not using as many public restrooms, although sometimes you'd like to, but they're closed. But we are, as our three-dimensional world has shut down a little, our virtual world has expanded, right? More time on the internet, more time getting to know people virtually. And our virtual world is very similar to our spiritual world in the sense that it's non-tangible and it's energy-based. You know, I'll tell you an interesting spiritual thing. This your iPhone, there's a crystal in it. Some people say, like, why does my iPhone know when I'm talking about something and suddenly somebody throws me an ad for it? Well, because there's a crystal in there. The virtual world is energy-based. The spirit world is energy-based. So it's all energy. So don't think of this time of COVID and not being able to come to church and shake hands and hug people as a time of non-growth, because you can still grow virtually, which is the same way that you grow spiritually. So in the next 24 hours, or let's say the next 48, let's say until Monday, I would love it if you would reach out somewhere to people that aren't already part of your tribe. Now that could mean you're on Facebook and you see something on your timeline, somebody you don't know has tagged somebody you know about an engagement or a death or an illness, or I got a new job, or I'm moving out of state. Put up a heart, put up a comment. It's all not just about preaching to our own choirs. It is, you got to preach to your choir, but you also have to move beyond that. You could be, let's say you like a certain TV show or a certain musical artist and you're in a fan group for that. Reach out, make some friends, meet some people. Expand your virtual friend circle, because there will come a time where we will go back to some kind of normal and there will be more in-person contact in our lives. And at that time, you will have grown your tribe. And when you grow your tribe, you grow your vibe. It's true. Growing of the tribe is a beautiful form of ascension. So please do that for me. That this weekend is how you can pass the peace, love, kindness, and unity, how you can meet and greet your neighbor virtually, your congregation, because really, human race is your congregation. One human family is everybody's congregation. So I would love it if you would do that, and that would mean a lot to me. Welcome, Juan. Welcome, Juan. I'm going to check and see. I missed somebody. Arthur, I said hello to. Macy, I said Lewis. Welcome, Lewis. Welcome, Frank. I think I said hello to you. We're a little more interactive. So if anybody has a question for me as we go about spirituality, about what I'm going to be talking about during my sermon, about what I've just talked about and you've heard, please ask the question in the chat and I will answer it. And also, if you need a blessing, I will be doing blessings later on in the service. Let me know, and I will be happy to pass a blessing your way. So really quick before we get into my sermon today, what does interfaith mean? People still aren't sure. And I talk about this every month during every service, and some people still aren't sure. New people are coming and aren't sure. So here we go. Susanna, welcome. This is a universal, light-based, love-filled, peaceful, all-encompassing service. By my definition, that is interfaith. Interfaith is a place where all are welcome. It's what my mama used to call a y'all come church. And even MCC, right, as a denomination, its roots and foundations are Christian. But it's pretty much a y'all come church. You can come to church. You can bring your Jewish friends, your Muslim friends, your atheist friends, your agnostic friends that aren't even sure what they're doing there. And all are welcome, and all are treated the same, and all are welcome if they want to take communion or not. All are welcome to participate in the hymnals and sing or not. All are welcome to attend social gatherings afterwards. Everybody is welcome here. And that is, to me, the definition of interfaith. So here's how this service is a little bit different. For me, an interfaith world is the next phase in human evolution. It's a place where everybody lives and let live. I might not identify as Jewish, but I understand how my Jewish brothers and sisters and non-binary humans are just the same as me, only with some cultural and faith differences. But I don't consider them to be different. In the same way, if I'm standing in a coffee shop with my best friend and I'm wearing purple and she's wearing blue, I don't consider myself different from her because she's wearing a different color of clothes. That is what interfaith means to me. You have to think of it as like a giant trailer park, and your individual faith is the trailer that you live in, but you still live in the park with different people, and everybody's faith is a little different. And it certainly doesn't mean that anyone will ever be asked to give up their individual worships or services or community or customs or religion. You believe whatever it is you want to believe. You just incorporate the universal ideology that everyone is welcome to play in your sandbox. And I think that's why it's so important that MCC and that Founders specifically have an interfaith service, because this church and this denomination has been so pioneering in the idea that all are welcome in our church. I think that MCC and Founders MCC is the perfect place to push the interfaith word so that people understand that whether or not you want to be interfaith, you are, if you're living within the pie where you believe all the pieces belong as part of the pie. And your own spiritual beliefs are just that piece of pie. And you can, as I said earlier, you can eat the same piece of pie every day. And that's your faith. But you can also one day say, what if I put whipped cream on this? What if I tried ice cream? What if I sprinkled nuts on it? What if I sprinkled coconut on it? Guess what? Now your piece of pie it's an interfaith piece. It's an interculinary piece of pie. It now has incorporated things from a coconut pie, a nut pie, a pie a la mode, a pie with whipped cream. This is the beauty of interfaith. It doesn't take anything from your life. It only gives to you. And it gives you an understanding of your neighbors, your friends, your family members, and it even helps you to understand maybe some of those more oppressive sects of religion that are not so tolerant of different people. It doesn't make you want to go be a part of that, but it makes you understand that, like it or not, they're also a part of your pie. Welcome, Chad. Welcome, Sandra. And welcome, Erica, to Saturday Night Spiritual. I'm Reverend Sheena Metal. That's what I love about interfaith. And I try every month to have the sermon fit with somehow into the idea of interfaith and into the idea of the ideas that Saturday Night Spiritual were founded on, and into sort of the spiritual mission that Pastor Keith Mazingo and I put into putting this together. Because being interfaith and living an interfaith life, it's a freedom. It's a freedom to discover new things. It's a freedom to discover new people. It's a freedom to be able to open up and embrace more and more things and people and customs and things that you love. And it's freeing of the soul. You know, when we come to this earth, we're perfect, right? Because we are of spirit. We are who we are at home, which some people call it heaven, and I call it home. Then we get here and we're still perfect, right? We see everything, we take in everything. I have a 9-month-old kitten who is asleep on the chair next to me. He is like amazed by everything and happy all the time, because we've had him since he was 3 days old. He only knows happy. And I always say my goal in life as a pastor and a spiritual practitioner and a light worker would be for everybody in the world to be as happy as little Cullen is, because he only knows happy. And he's so ingrained to be happy that even when something happens, right, like the Chihuahua snaps at him, the old Chihuahua Yorkie snaps at him, he doesn't get upset. He just sort of looks like, but why don't you want to play with me? Because everything's wonderful. That's how we all come to the earth. And then life, and by life I mean humans, pile all of this weight and this stuff and this gunk and these beliefs and these doubts and this anxiety and worry and insecurity and feelings of inadequacy. And soon this beautiful little ball of light that we all come to the earth with, we become like a ball of light wrapped in, rotting orange peels. We're covered. We can't get into where that ball of light is because we're wrapped up in all this gunk. It's like when somebody takes a marble and wraps tape around it, makes a giant tape ball. And there's all this tape and you're trying to get to the marble and you can't. And somewhere in our lives, we realize, I want to get to me. And I can't find me because of all this gunk that has been imposed upon me through years and years and years, starting at, young infancy, of people putting doubts and insecurities and worries. You shouldn't eat the cookie, you'll get fat. You didn't see your dead grandmother, there's no such thing as ghosts. Don't laugh so much, people might look at you. Why are you happy all the time? Don't hug your best boyfriend because people might think it's weird. If you're a boy, don't wear lipstick to school because people will laugh at you. And all of these things are telling you you're not doing it right. You're not enough. You're not doing it right. You're not enough. It's wrong. You're wrong. This is wrong. Everything's wrong. And pretty soon you get PTSD from your own life because you're just trying to be that little ball of light, that marble-sized ball of light, and just roll through the world like my baby Cullen does. Just smelling everything and touching everything and looking at everything and laughing and having a blast. So what do? This is a great time now that we are stuck in the middle of this pandemic and we have so much time to spend in our heads thinking. We're not out all the time in all the distractions, right? We don't just go out to a party when we're not feeling good. We're stuck at home with our feelings. For a lot of people, that's been hard, right? Suicides are up, which is horrible. Anti-anxiety and anti-depression distribution is up, which is horrible. People are trying to get out of their own heads because they don't want to take this time to think about what's going on. So, guess what? Now is the time to discover what serves you. That's what I called my sermon this month. Discover what serves you. Now is the time to discover. Welcome, Chad, Sandra, Dawn. If I'm doubling people up, it's because I can only see 3 comments at a time. What serves you? What makes you your best, happiest, most connected, most evolved, most ascended self? What in your life serves you? Now is the time to figure that out. There's that Japanese practice that I love, right? And I'll probably get it wrong. My best friend talks about it all the time. You're cleaning out your house, right? And instead of keeping everything, which is not great, and I tend to be a keeper, or just throwing everything out blindly. I'll pull a dumpster up, throw everything out. That's ridiculous. You take each item and you hold it. And you thank it for being yours. And then you decide, do I want to keep this? Do I want to gift it to someone? Would I like to donate it to a place that helps less privileged folks? Do I want to try to sell it? Or should I just throw it away? And the beautiful thing about that is with every item in your house, everything, every one of those answers is okay. So think about that practice, right? And turning it into the things here, the stuff that's up here, the stuff that's in here, which to you looks like in here because everything's reversed. The stuff that's in your spiritual periphery. What do you want to keep? Now, you're not going to sell any of that, I don't think. If you can, good on you. You're not going to gift anything that's not serving you to someone, but you may give something back. You may say, thank you for kicking me out of your church because I'm gay. I have now found a better church, and I'm giving you back your church, your feelings, your isms, your oppressive beliefs. They are all for you. I no longer want them. That is gifting something back. Donating something to less privileged folks. Use something you don't want in your system anymore. I survived a narcissist. I am giving the narcissist back everything they gave me. Here are your negative feelings and your criticisms. I no longer want them. But I am also donating my knowledge of what happened to me to people that are still going through it, or people that are confused and don't know how to get out of it. That's how you donate the things you no longer want inside of you. And then some stuff, a lot of stuff, most of the stuff that's here and here and here and here in your solar plexus chakra, you just throw it away. Let it go. But it's much easier to let that stuff go when you have discerned what's for you. A lot of people, a lot of spiritual practitioners, a lot of psychological practitioners, they start you with the getting rid of stuff. And I understand that because a lot of stuff's got to go. Clear the air, make some room on the hard disk up here. But I'm a glass half full girl. I will choose positivity over negativity any day of the week. So I believe before you start getting rid of what no longer serves you, discover what does. Find your core. Build the glow in that little ball of light inside of you. Make it strong so you can see that glow through all the masking tape around it. Then let go of everything you don't need. And this is one of our big spiritual lessons, right? This is what Spirit, in every life that we are here, almost, because you never say never or always with Spirit, this is the lesson to be learned, right? Is to unravel everything the earth has put upon you and come back to this place of where you were when you came as a ball of light to the earth, but also with all of the knowledge and experience of what you've been through that you can share with others. Getting back to a place of connectiveness, happiness, love, by finding out what serves you. What makes my life better? What makes me happier? What makes me healthier? What brings out sunshine on a rainy day? In here and in here. It's finding what serves you. So here's some comments I'm going to talk about. Susanna said, not living in fear any longer. Isn't that beautiful, sweetheart? Fear is something that never serves us. Fear is not good. There is no reason to live in fear. And fear is something people have put upon us. We have discovered it from other people telling us things, or fear is something that is not nature, it's nurture. I know people that rescue cats, and you put your hand up like this, right? Like this, and the cat goes. You put your hand up like this in front of baby Cullen, and he's like, oh, are we going to play? Because no one's ever hit him or scolded him or yelled at him. Look, when he does crazy kitten things, you talk to him about it. He's not without discipline, but he doesn't think this means someone's going to hurt him because he doesn't know that. That's an acquired thing. All the fear has come from somewhere. Now, occasionally, maybe, if you believe in past lives as I do, it comes from there. You bring your fear into this life. That can happen. But 99% of your fear is here because you have been told by someone to fear something and it's stuck. So release it. What is the fear, right? There's nothing to fear but fear itself. It's true. If you're terrified of the boogeyman, open up the closet and see what you saw was a trench coat with a hat. It looked like a man, and then you no longer have to be fearful. Confronting a fear is always a good thing, because I tell you, what you fear is never as big as the fear. And most of the times we fear things we don't even know what we fear. We're just carrying around bundles of fear, not even sure what we fear. Okay, Frank said living in love and also learning how to just be. So beautiful, my friend. Everything does not have to be overthought. Everything does not have to be turned over in your mind again and again and again. I was never more happy than when I learned to live in the now, in the isness. And what did it for me was doing live radio. When you're doing radio, you can't be thinking and worrying about a bunch of stuff, because you have to be in that moment, talking to that person, interviewing that person, making sure everything's okay with the technical stuff, making sure you remember to do all the stuff you got to do. You got to be right there and present. I think that's one of the reasons that for artists are so happy when they're making art. Because when you are making art, when you're in a play, when you're performing with your band, when you're dancing, when you're sculpting, you are in that moment with that purpose, connected to spirit. I loved being in the now so much, and I was one who fretted the past and worried about the future like nobody's business. And I learned to be in the moment to the point where now I don't even think about what I want or what's going to happen in my life. I just walk my path as Spirit asks. And when Spirit tells me to go somewhere and do something, I do it. Take this class. Teach this class. Do this service. Say yes to this opportunity. Say yes to founders when they ask you to be pastored there. Become ordained. Make your movement. Now make it a nonprofit. These were all things Spirit just told me, so I did it. I don't live in a place anymore of, I don't know what to do. Spirit will always tell you what to do. That's the beautiful thing about walking in Spirit. Not overthinking. We are meant to lead with our third eye. We are meant to lead with our spiritual connection. Mostly our intellectual brain just gets in the way. Lead with your soul. Lead with your gut. Sometimes just tell the monkey that's chattering in your brain to simmer down now. Let go of what doesn't serve you by discovering what does. Discover what serves you. Macy says, allowing God in my heart and accepting help and support. Beautiful. Exactly what I was talking about, Macy. Sorry, I have a drinking problem, but thankfully it's just ice water. Normally I do that during the service while some beautiful person does a prayer or performs music, but it's just you and me. Yes, that's exactly it. It's exactly right. Allowing God in my heart and accepting help and support. I'm 54 years old. How the heck did that happen? That may sound old, but compared to the age of God, the age of Spirit, that's nothing. The age of the universe? So why would I think I know everything with my puny little however many lives I've had, when there is this big, amazing, omnipotent source that created everything, that wants to help you live your best life? Why wouldn't I want to listen to that? Why wouldn't you? Discover what serves you. Karen says, false evidence appearing real. Yeah, that's right. Watch out for that. When you discover what serves you, Karen, you become less susceptible to the false evidence appearing real, to the people, the gaslighting, right? The lies, and the people telling you whatever they want to tell you for their own agenda. And people will do that. Sometimes it's malicious. Usually it's just out of their own insecurity. I'm insecure about myself, so I'm worried about you. What happens if I go into the party with my friend and she's fat? What are people going to think of me? I'll tell you an interesting story. I had a friend many, many years ago, and she would get embarrassed because I was fat. And when she went out with all her pretty friends, her Hollywood friends, she would never invite me. But then when she was just having a good time or wanted to write something fun or create something or make something, then she always called me first. When I was in my early 20s, that hurt. But then she was in a terrible accident and wound up having a large amount of facial disfigurement. And none of her pretty friends would have anything to do with her. And she learned what's really important in life, which is what someone is inside, not what they look like. And anybody that you think your friends aren't good enough for are people that you shouldn't be around. But these are things that you learn by discovering what serves you so you can get rid of, as Karen said, the false evidence appearing real. When people don't feel good about themselves, they will tell you things about themselves. Not good things. They will tell you, I just don't like you because I just feel like you dominate conversations and you ruin everything. Well, that means I don't feel good about myself because I feel I don't have anything to say in conversations. Therefore, because I'm not speaking my mind and you are and people are responding to it, I'm angry at you for getting the attention that I secretly crave. So I'm going to tell you there's something wrong with you. I had a friend once that said a very interesting thing to me. I had a very abusive person in my life that needed to be weeded out, but I hadn't. And she said, remember, the eyes are mirrors. Everything that person says to you, that person is thinking about themselves. Try adopting that because it really is the truth. Roy, welcome. Welcome. Macy and Susanna are both saying they're 56. So now I feel like the baby. And it's my best day ever. Thank you, girls. Discover what serves you. We spend so much of our lives sort of enduring through things, right? Oh, I'm suffering through this job I hate. I'm suffering through this relationship with this person who doesn't treat me well. And I hate my house. I hate where I live. Why are we putting up with all this stuff? Find things that make you happy, right? If you hate your job, start looking for another one. If you hate living with a person who treats you badly, no one should live with somebody who treats them badly. Nobody should live with someone who doesn't love and respect them. If you hate your house, move. If you hate where you live, move. We have all the freedom in the world in this country. And in most countries, most countries in the world, you have the freedom to have the job you want. I know there are exceptions to that rule, but most countries, you can live where you want. You could even, if you worked hard enough, probably get a visa, go live in those countries if that's where you want to live. You don't have to suffer through unhappiness, but people do it because they have not yet discovered what serves them. Sometimes my clients, my spiritual counseling clients will say to me, why does God's Spirit hate me? Why does God hate me? Why has God chosen me to have this terrible life? It's like, okay, dial it back, Job. Spirit has not chosen you to have a terrible life. Spirit wants every single one of us to have the most beautiful, best, fun life, full of laughter and love and food and sex and, driving with the top down and swimming in the ocean, kissing a dolphin. This isn't a prison planet. This isn't a punishment planet. You're not being punished. You're just being challenged. You have to learn how to free your wings from that barbed wire so you can soar. Spirit doesn't want you to fail. Spirit wants you to win. We're all set up to win. But we get in our own way and we listen to the monkey that lives here and chatters, and that's a terrible insult to monkeys. You are meant to live and to love and to enjoy your life. Welcome, Arthur. Arthur says, having recently moved from Hollywood to a small fishing village 40 miles north of Rio de Janeiro, and the people here have, hang on, I gotta see more. The people here have such a different spirituality where they are kind and loving and force me to change mine to theirs. Your insights over the past year has helped me to adjust. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm thrilled, honey. I'm so thrilled for you, and I appreciate that, and thank you. I'm so glad you're happy. Find the place you need to go and be happy. It's so important that we do that. I'll tell you an interesting story. So my nephew, who's in his early 30s, always felt like he wanted to live in Great Britain. We are of Irish descent, so, not a big surprise, but he was always very drawn to that, very drawn to all things British, very much an Anglophile. So after suffering through a couple relationships that were not healthy for him, he decided to go somewhere where people meet people. I'm not sure exactly where. Bing, off the bat, meets this girl, right? Lives in London. And they fall madly in love, and now they're engaged, and it's like this totally beautiful thing. He got to the right place, right? Where he needed to be. He let go of what didn't serve him. He embraced what it was he really wanted, what served him. And then Spirit seemingly effortlessly plunked his soulmate right in front of him in exactly the place he wanted to live. And boop, boop, there's his life laid out before him. That is what happens when you discover what serves you and you allow Spirit to take all the rest of it, all that masking tape on the ball off of you so you can soar. Right? That is what it's about, to discover what serves you. If it helps, write it down. Figure out what it is that you really want. What do I want from my life? It's okay to ask that. And then telling Spirit, this is what I want. Put it in your prayers, your thoughts, your meditation. Ask for what you want. Manifest your own happiness. Sometimes Spirit's just waiting to hear. God's just waiting to hear what you want. So that he, she, they, God can bring to you all that your heart and soul desire. But you're not going to get it if you don't ask. Look, if you ask for 20 things and your sister asks for a bike and she gets a bike and you don't, you can't be angry at her for getting a bike because you didn't put a bike on the list. So how was anybody to know that's what you wanted? You put all this other stuff, but where's the bike? Well, I really wanted a bike. Well, then you have to ask for it. That's how it is with Spirit too. No, I'm not saying Spirit is like Amazon and you're constantly ordering what you want from them. It's not like that. But you are allowed to ask for what you want to make your life beautiful. It's okay. Discover what serves you. All right, my friends? Take that with you from today. And if you want to contact me, I'm at sheenametalspiritual.com. Contact me. It's perfectly okay. And let me know what you've decided serves you. I want to hear all about it. All right? Okay, this is the time where we bring Pastor Keith up normally to do the offering. This is my first time doing it, so bear with me, my friends. If you want to donate, I always like to call it help us to help you. Because the more the church grows, the more the denomination grows, the more good we can do for our wonderful parishioners and also for others who maybe aren't part of our spiritual palette, but are trying to find their way and have a good life. If you want to donate, you can text now 77977. Founders MCC, scroll down to Saturday Night Spiritual Service so people know y'all like what you saw tonight. Or you can go to our website, which is foundersmcc.org. Scroll down to the green banner and donate. make sure to add Saturday Night Spiritual, because then that helps us to keep doing this every month, and I appreciate that. So this is when we're in a place where we're in the church and people are here, that I do a blessing. And people come up and they bring themselves or objects or both, their kids, their pets, whatever, and I give them a private blessing. But we're not doing that, obviously, because we don't have people in front of me. So normally I just say a blessing. But if you would like to have a blessing, put it in the chat and I will gladly give you one. So I'm going to wait for a second and let y'all put up your blessings. What do you need a blessing for? Please know that every one of you is here because you are needed. You are important to this church. You're important to Spirit. You're important to the earth. You're important to me, and you are loved by all of us. Don't ever think you don't matter. Don't ever think you don't belong here. And don't ever think that Spirit doesn't acknowledge how beautiful you are, because nothing could be farther from the truth. All right? Gonzalo, hello. So thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for making this easy, this first time of me just virtually doing this. Again, foundersmcc.org is where you can find us. Also our YouTube page and our Facebook page, SaturdayNightSpiritual.com for this service. Please think about donating online. I just gave you the info. Oh, Reverend Alejandro is here with a message for us. He says, thank you for all you do. I pray for and bless those who are struggling with COVID and its variances. I pray and bless those who mourn. And so do I. Blessings to all of you. Let's pray that everyone gets better. Sandra wants a blessing, please, for all dealing with health issues, our family, friends, and our pets. Absolutely. Love and light being set to everyone with health issues right now, and their families and friends and pets, and everyone dealing with long COVID, long haul COVID, the symptoms of COVID that continue on and on. I am one of those folks. I know that people look at me cross-eyed when I tell them like they don't believe. I want you to know that I believe you, and I see you, and I hope you get better. Pamela, welcome. If you have a sec, please visit my nonprofit movement of peace, love, kindness, and unity, raisingthevibration.org. Hopefully you will learn from there some great ways to put more peace, more love, more kindness, and more unity into the world. It just gives you tools. It's basically a lot of things my mama taught me when I was little, and I'm passing them on to you. When we are here again with people, I always put out a prayer intention box. Obviously, I don't have that here because we're not with people. But if you would like to send me a prayer or an intention, I do prayer services every new moon and every full moon. Hit me up at SaturdayNightSpiritual.com, and I'm happy to include your prayers during my next moon service. Frank is saying, please say a blessing for all of us to be in person again. Absolutely. And when we are all in person again, please, all of you that were here tonight, promise me you will come out to the church and give me a big hug, because I would love that. I miss hugs, and I'm sure you all do too. Thank you, Frank. That was beautiful. Alejandro says, may the peace and the love of God be with you all. And with you, my friend. Alejandro is such an important part of our church and such a wonderful part every month of Saturday Night Spiritual. Our next service is at foundersmcc.org on February 12th at 5 o'clock Pacific time. I don't know if we'll be in the church or if I'll be here again, but anyway, no matter what happens, I will be here and there will be a message coming to you because I would not miss all of you for anything in the world, all right? So don't ever fear that this won't be here. Take this away, please, for me. Seek peace wherever you go. Live in love at all times. Lead with kindness, always and forever. Embrace unity whenever possible, even though I know how hard embracing unity can be. And please keep raising your vibration, however hard it seems sometimes in these challenging times. I know it's difficult. Keep ascending, my friends. Most importantly, make a new friend today, because when you grow your tribe, you grow your vibe. And I always end with a poem, so here we go. This poem is called Happiness. It's by Karen Hamilton. What is happiness, I hear you say? What helps us smile on those dreary days? What sends a tingle through our bones? What helps us talk in cheerful tones? How does it pick? How does it choose when it comes, when to come and when to move? How does it know to work its way through every single person like me and you? Some people try as hard as they can to steal it away from another human. But it's yours forever. It's yours to keep. Don't let them take something so deep. You must look within yourself when times are blue, because happiness is a thing that lives in you. And I know because you all make me happy, and I love you so much. And I'll see you next month for Saturday Night Spiritual. I'm the Reverend Sheena Metal, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Founders MCC, and love to you all.